Hello everyone and welcome back to another video. Today we are going to explore an API implementation I made in C Sharp. It's for Carmine.io. Carmine.io is a fleet tracking and management system. We use it at my work, obviously, to track our vehicles and to do a little bit more advanced stuff such as correlate job sites to job crews. So when I was integrating Carmine into our system, I had to build my own API client to consume the data from Carmine. And it was an interesting experience, partially because the documentation for Carmine's API is probably 50% good, 50% bad. Some of it was trial and error to discover what really worked, but I have it done now, and I took the client that I had within our system and I exported it and made it into its own standalone client. And we're looking at it here on GitHub for the source code. You can go and look at it. It has a little bit of basic information how to use it. And I've also published the client as a NuGet package. And here it is. So you can go and download it. And in fact, since I have this NuGet package available now, I have backported it into, or backporting is probably not the right word, but I've started utilizing it back within my system at work. And I've removed the dependency of the code that I had there. So let me give you an example of how it works. I have a Visual Studio solution here. Basically, when I run this console application, it's going to call into here. And in here, we are going to, let's see, we're going to grab a list of the vehicles. And then we are going to get a specific vehicle by its ID. Then we are going to get a list of users. And then we'll get a user by their ID. Then we'll get a list of trips, and then a trip by its ID, and then we can get the waypoints by the waypoints trip ID. So let's jump into it really quick. I am anonymizing all of this information because I am pulling from my works data feed, and I just don't want that information to be publicly available, so it is being anonymized. So let's give it a shot. So first we're going to get the list of vehicles. And here we are. I have a list of all the vehicles in my fleet at work. It's a lengthy list. I think there's 20 to 30 vehicles. So let me go back down. Now we'll just get a single vehicle. There's the response for a single vehicle. And next we'll get a list of users, all named John Doe. And then we'll get a single user. There they are. And then we'll get a list of trips. So here we have a list of trips related to the driver and the vehicle, starting, ending positions. And then we have a single trip. When you look for a single trip, you also get a hydrated response of its waypoints as well. Or if you have a trip already that you just want to look up the waypoints for, you can just pass in the trip's ID and get the waypoints only. And that's it. It's very simple. So if you want to use Carmine, or if you already are using Carmine, then you can ask them for an API key and integrate Carmine into your application using my NuGet package. One thing that I have done is I have made some naming changes to the fields to make them a little bit more obvious, such as I think one of them was the speed. It's really the speed in meters. So I named the field speed in meters. So a little bit of simplicity changes so that when you're working with the responses, you know just by looking at the fields what you're working with, rather than trying to dig up through the documentation, which I said was not that good to begin with. So that's it. If you like this video, please let me know. If you have any questions, comments, please write them down in the comment section. And if you liked it, please leave a like. It helps me out, especially now that I am trying to build up a YouTube channel. Thanks, and see you next time.